Hi everyone, it's Tiffany from Daisy Farm Crafts, and today I'm going to do a quick tutorial to show you how my daughter Haley made her very beginner friendly. This is only about her fourth project she has made, and it's a scarf that she made to take back with her for college this winter. So it's she learned some ribbing down here. And this is the half double crochet stitch in between the posts. So I'm going to really go over a lot of basic beginning things. She carried yarn up the side like that. So you will see yarn being carried up the side. That's totally optional. She got a little bit tired and I told her that was fine to do it. This would be a project just for her. But maybe if you're giving it as a gift, you'd want to weave those ends in. But I'll show you how to do all of those things. So let's get started. All right, so first of all, the yarn that I had her use is Caron Simply Soft, and it's white. This is dark country blue, and this is gray heather. So pretty standard. These actually are the colors of the university that she goes to, so that's why she picked that. Wanted to show some school spirit. You can make this scarf as wide as you'd like. I think she's just a little bit under a foot wide. But anyway, she started with 32 chains. So I'm using an H hook. This is my Susan Bates Comfort Grip. So if you want to chain, for today's demonstration, we are just going to do, let's do 14. I think that's a good number to do. That probably will give you enough chains to really practice if you are a brand new beginner. And since you are a brand new beginner, I should be going a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's amazing. Okay. How she started is what's called a half double crochet, and we're just going to work that all across the base row. So count 1, 2, 3, work into that third chain, and let me go ahead and tell you what I'm doing. So I'm yarning over, I'm inserting my hook just underneath that top loop, yarning over again, pulling back through, kind of pull them up. Make sure there's 3 loops there, yarning over and pulling through all 3 loops. That is what is called a standard half double crochet. So yarn over, you're going to want to work into each chain space as you go down the row. Try and just go really slow for you here. Yarning over, inserting my hook, yarning over, pulling through. Now what she has found that she loves about this stitch for the next row, I'll show you, it does seem to be really pretty beginner friendly because of the way the row ends. You'll be able to clearly see where your last stitch belongs, and that will help you keep your side straight. It's the number of stitches in each row that helps you keep your side straight. You want to have the exact same number in every row. So I just chained to the end, pull through, and there we go. We've got 1 row all worked in to the base, up to that base chain. Chain 2 and turn. You will always chain 2 and turn no matter what color you're using in this scarf. And you turn it like a page in the book, turn it towards you. Now, what you're going to do in a half double crochet, usually what is typical, you'll still yarn over, is to work into this hole right here. It's underneath these top 2 V's. You should always assume that if you see that in a pattern where it just says half double crochet, work there. But we're going to be working in between the posts. So kind of spread that out, go underneath that very bottom loop, pull it up, and then complete your stitch as we've just been doing. So that is what we call in between the posts. So not this hole, but underneath all 3 loops, and in between the post of a stitch is this vertical part. And that's why we're saying insert your hook in between those posts. Now I've also heard that this could be called a wide half double crochet. And that, I'm going to continue to double check with that and make sure I'm giving you the right name, but that really would make sense to me, because that's what you do with a double crochet. If you work a double crochet kind of in between, it's called a wide double crochet. So we are working wide half double crochets. Kind of eliminates any of the lines across your work when you do this, and we liked that look. Kind of gave it more of a knitted look, at least that's what she thought, instead of a crocheted look. And it really tightened up the stitch too. Now here we are, and this is the part I was telling you about that she really loves and really helped her as a beginner. When she got to the end, she always knew that her hook needed to go in between the post and the last set of the turning 2 chains. So that's a giant hole to stick your hook into. And you could pull it up, do it, instead of trying to find the top of the turning chains. You just get to find that big hole. Chain 2 and turn. Now all we're going to do is repeat all the way back across. It's such a great stitch. Okay, I'm going to let you practice this, and then when we get to the end of the row, let's add in some gray so you'll know how to do that. All right, let's do a color change. What you're going to do is still yarn over. Here I am at the end of the row. I'm finding that big space that is between the turning chains and that last post. I'm pulling up a loop and I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to grab my new color and simply lay it over the hook and then pull it through. That is all you need to do for a color change. I'm going to kind of pull on this and make it a little bit longer tail, because you want some extra slack there so that you have plenty for your needle when you go to weave in the ends. We're just going to continue working the same way. Here's where you'd put your first stitch. All right, work 2 rows of a new color, and I'll show you that option of if you'd prefer to carry the yarn up the side. You know, it's not even just specific for this project, it's just a good skill to know when you are going to be putting a border on a blanket. It is such a time saver to be able to carry yarn up the side. So Haley, for her scarf, since she decided it was for herself, she did not care, and she was not planning on putting a border around it. So that's why I'm saying for this scarf, it's an optional technique. But anyway, okay, work it back to the end of the next row. All right, here I am at the end of the row, and I never cut that white off. So what it means to carry it up the side is just to simply grab it, lay it over your hook, just like when you change yarn usually, and pull it through. The only thing is you just want to kind of adjust the tension before you get going. Make sure you gave yourself enough slack here as you're carrying it, that it's not pulling that row down too tight. You want to, you know, make sure you have to kind of estimate that it's laying flat along the edge. And then you can just keep going. All right, the next thing I'm going to show you after I finish this row is how she worked that ribbing. When you reach the last row of your scarf and you feel like it's done, all you need to do, you don't need to tie off, you just are going to chain 3 and turn, And now this time, this chain, we're going to kind of have it be an extra off to the side, because we'll still use that. So just go ahead now, work double crochets right here into that middle space that you'll see that a half double crochet makes. So the hole is pretty obvious. We are not working in between the posts anymore. Work double crochet all the way down to the end. Okay, so here we go with this cute border. I chained 3, and I'm going to turn. And now I'm going to start by this post you don't need to worry about. This chain 3 sort of counts for that. I'm going to pop this one forward and work what's called a front post double crochet around it. And then I'll do another front post double crochet. We're going to work them in pairs. And now you'll work 2 of them back post double crochet, and that can be a little bit tricky because you do have to kind of get your hook in order to pop that post towards the back. All right, now we're going to go towards the front. Pop it to the front. See how I'm kind of having to turn that over, insert my hook in a way that it makes the post pop to the back. That's probably the hardest part, is getting that hook started. It's okay to kind of maybe push your thumb in order to pop it out. That helps. And then we'll go forward. And I haven't given that you need an even number or an odd number for this pattern. It doesn't matter one way or the other, because you're just still going to have an extra stitch. So if you do have 2, left, great, keep repeating. But since I've only got the 1, I'm going to still poke it, pop it out towards the back. And then I will just work a double crochet kind of underneath my turning chains, just like we were doing earlier. Just like that. And I'll chain 3 and turn. And on this row, I'll keep the stitches, if they're facing me and popping towards me, then I'm going to continue to keep them popping towards me. And if they're, on the back, we're going to keep them towards the back. That's what forms the little lines on the ribbing section. All right, I think you've got it. One other thing I want to show you is that obviously you're going to want to do this on the opposite end of your scarf. So what you will do is really work in the same manner. I'm going to cut this off, so pretend I did all of that. You're going to pull up a loop in the corner of your work where you started, and then essentially work in the same way. We're going to do 1 row. Well, first we'll start with a chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And I like to tuck that extra tail and kind of have it come along with me. And now work into the bottom side of that base chain and work your row of double crochets. And then you'll work those post stitches in the same way that we just did. Okay, I think the only other thing I really want to show you is how to weave in an end. So let me find my needle and I'll show you how to do that. All right, what I have here is, I call a tapestry needle. It's got a fairly large eye and a blunt tip. And when you're finished with your work, usually when the pattern says to tie off or whatever, you're going to clip a fairly long tail and just simply slip that loop right out, just like that. And then and I'm going to do it over here on the end, one of the ends, I think. Maybe I'll do our base chain one. You just slip it in, and you are going to weave the needle in and out of the stitches as best you can, just to disguise the tail. And there is no right or wrong way to do this. Sometimes I do like to, maybe tighten a loose stitch if I see it or whatever, just like how you saw that. But you won't have that because you're going to be working down, putting that border on there. But it's amazing to me how once you just kind of work your needle through these stitches, it really just disappears. They just disappear. And work back over yourself, and it's okay to even split the yarn apart a little bit. Anything that will help the yarn to grab onto the other ends is perfectly fine. Keep getting it out there. Do it 3, 4, 5 times is plenty till you feel like, there's just no way. Then what you do is you just pull them, adjust the tension and snip it off. And that's how you weave in the ends. Okay, so I think I've gone over everything. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you this darling scarf. Okay, here it is. This super cute, her little collegiate scarf. She's headed off to Idaho, actually. And anyway, here it is. Hope you enjoy making it. I hope you're successful. Come show us, as always, on our Facebook or Instagram. Use the hashtag DaisyFarmCrafts. We love sharing your projects, and trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so. Okay, thanks for stopping by. You have a good day. Bye.